Okay, this is Professor Emmerich here with Jacob Taylor. Jacob is a student who's finishing up the ISI program this semester. It's fall 2020, and Jacob's just finishing up the capstone, and it's December, and he's looking at graduation. So um, I've gotten to know Jacob a little bit through the years. He's been in a lot of my classes, and I'm just going to ask Jacob to share a little bit about himself and his experience in the ISI program, and specifically in the capstone. So, with that, Jacob, could you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, hobbies, background, maybe where you grew up, where you're at today.
Yeah, no problem. My name's Jacob, and I am from Petoskey, Michigan, so northern Michigan. Um, Coming in, my background included a lot of tennis, high school marching band, and skiing a lot. And yeah, I found the ISI program and really got introduced into it because it was in Michigan. It was close. It was very accredited, so found that through there uh, and went into it and really enjoyed my time.
So Jacob, did you have any computing classes before entering the program?
Yeah, I actually took some dual enrolled ones at a community college, and it was in networking, and then there was one in intro to programming. So I had kind of some of that experience coming into it.
Okay, so you got a little bit of a head start. And we have a lot of students. I would say most of them come into the program with really no background in computing, and we kind of build it up. So you had a little bit of an advantage there. Kind of hit the ground running a little bit. So Jacob, you've been in the program 4 years, right? You kind of were a traditional student, I think, give or take, right? I don't know. It seems like you made it through at a pretty good pace. Um, how would you describe um, your growth through the program? Like, kind of your perceptions of the program, and your interest and knowledge of information security, your confidence in information security from then until now.
Yeah, so starting out, I was kind of open to anything. I hadn't really had any experience in security. I just kind of had interest in IT in general and saw that the program was a good opportunity in security. And so starting off, I was kind of not involved in much, but experience with the classes and the professors and the other students really enabled me to grow in the first couple years and getting involved with the ISIA RSO really helped out with that because I got to know um, uh, upper level students and they kind of guided me in classes I should take or in fields that are interesting. And I started out kind of gaining an interest in certain areas. I started with digital forensics, and I really liked that. And I had an internship with the state police, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I kind of looked at other options, and then I saw penetration testing, and then I had my first pen testing class, and that was really fun. And so I kind of at that moment I kind of went down that path and started loading up and take pen testing classes, and I really enjoyed all of those and kept growing in the program and got involved a lot with National Cyber League and Ferris Cyber CTFs and had a lot of fun there. And in ISIA, I got a ISIA officer position. I was on the e-board there, and so kind of grew in the later part of my journey there in the ISI program to really expand. And I loved mentoring the students, the high school students who came in for the cyber competitions and kind of showing them the ways and some basic cyber challenges. And that was really enjoyable for me to kind of give back and inspire high school students coming in and who are interested in that.
Yeah, and I remember you in a number of those kind of volunteer settings where we were bringing in some pretty large groups of high school students, and you were there representing the ISI college students in the program, and they're helping them with the challenges and encouraging them. Um, and it sounds like you found that pretty rewarding, uh,
Yep.
and I get that feedback from others as well, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Jacob, but I guess I'll put in a little plug here, and that is a lot of students, I think, get involved, but a lot of students also kind of sit by the sidelines for whatever reason. I mean, some people are just really busy and have a hard time making time for it. But those who are hesitant um, and have the time, what would you tell them in terms of, engagement with, Cyber League, National Cyber League, CTF, the RSOs like ISIA and WIX? I mean, um, what would you say to them to encourage them, to get involved?
Yeah, I'd say starting out, even early as your freshman year, I would get involved with ISIA first. I think that's a great opportunity to network with a lot of students, and these students are going to be your colleagues. They're going to be people who are in the field, and it's important to know them because they could be your gateway to an opportunity post graduation. And speaking of like NCL and any cyber competitions, you get a really good chance to collaborate with other students, and especially NCL, you learn a lot of stuff. So, getting involved in that early, just even walking through challenges with upperclassmen or just attempting them, doing your own research, it's really helpful because it benefits your problem solving skills, and you can collaborate with others, and it's good for team environments. The team NCL challenge is really good there. So
Yeah.
getting involved with that is good early because you learn a lot of those good skills.
And I bet it's helped your resume a lot too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
just thinking of all the things you've listed that you've been involved in. I mean, let's face it, when we're students, sometimes we have a hard time filling up a page, right, with meaningful content, and taking a couple hours here and a couple hours there to be a part of an organization, to do NCL, to volunteer, right, to participate in a CTF. I mean, all those things look great on a resume. I have employers and colleagues tell me all the time that, they're looking for that student who is kind of shows that passion, has gone the extra mile, kind of stands out from the crowd a little bit. And it doesn't necessarily have to take a lot of extra time. You just have to be, committed to doing it, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Jacob, you just finished the capstone. I know a lot of students have anxiety about the capstone. Hopefully, because not because of me, because I teach capstone a lot, but there's a lot of work in the capstone, and you just went through it, and congratulations, you achieved a couple of certifications in the capstone, and you participated in National Cyber League and did very well, amongst other things in the capstone. So a lot of students, as part of the capstone right now, are choosing Security Plus. That'll probably change over time as Security Plus becomes maybe more integrated in prior courses, as a certification, but it's certainly a great certification to earn even at the capstone level. Um, what maybe can you tell us a little bit about your experience selecting the certifications you selected and how you prepared, and kind of what the experience was like preparing, taking the exam, and kind of how you felt after the exam and today?
Yeah, so selecting the exam, I pretty much, in talking with other students and kind of seeing what security professionals wanted and jobs wanted, the Security Plus was pretty much it. That you needed that one to be eligible for a lot of full time positions. So that was the one I went for. I made a schedule at the beginning of the semester, and sticking to that was pretty crucial. Um, Outlining what I would do each week really helped out because I could gauge where I was, and tracking my hours throughout helped a lot. And it's just important to not get bogged down with everything. Take your time with a lot of this stuff because it is a lot of just connecting a lot of information you learned in the ISI courses together. Because a lot of stuff you have learned, you just hadn't seen how it fully connected. So I've realized a lot in studying for that certification, especially how much I could connect there, and it really helped out in reviewing and just in learning the material throughout the chapters. And taking it was a little stressful, but that's to be expected going into a certification exam. Me having it remote was different than those who experience it in person, but the whole time you're taking the test, you just have to keep your head up and drive through the questions and just use your best judgment to answer them in the best way that you can. And yeah, after completing it and passing, I was super excited because that was a big goal of mine, and throughout
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
capstone, all the hard work really paid off. So I was super excited after I achieved that and slapped it right on my resume right after to show
You had it
because
out there on LinkedIn
yeah,
within seconds. Yeah.
yep. So
Yeah.
so that was really nice, and the hard work paid off for sure.
Good. So anything you would do different in terms of preparation for those certs, or really any cert? Like what did you learn about just the preparation process itself, and what would you do different?
Yep. So my preparation process was pretty much was separating like a chapter, and I would read through that. I would aim for around 2 chapters a week, and I would read the whole thing. And at the end of the day, I don't know if that was 100% beneficial because I knew a lot of that stuff, and I think I needed to focus more on the stuff I didn't know or didn't remember. Um, One thing for sure to look at for someone is the Security Plus exam objectives. Those are super useful in that certification, and they helped me a lot. I found them in the last couple of weeks of of studying because I had been reading the book and also
Mhm.
doing practice tests early. Really helped, and watching YouTube videos on stuff I didn't fully understand really helped. There were some topics that I was just like especially cryptography, which I think they're taking a lot out of the 601 exam that's coming out. They're taking a lot of those out, which may be beneficial in the future because some of them are getting a little dated. So it's good that they're updating that. But yeah, watching YouTube videos helps a lot, and just yeah, just making sure you isolate what you don't know and focusing on that. And then also, as you know, in this industry, there are a lot of acronyms, so making sure you're context aware with those acronyms too, because some of them could mean multiple things, and kind of knowing those helps out a lot on the exam.
Yeah, we are definitely in an industry of acronyms. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty typical experience, Jacob. And you know, it, everyone's experience, I think, preparing for an exam is slightly different. But there's I think you highlighted a couple key things that I just want to emphasize because I see that in students that are successful with this, and that is that they have a plan, they have a deadline that they're marching to, um, they're methodical going through the material, even the stuff you think you need to at least review, right? I know you wish you would have spent a little less time on it, but um, I would suspect if you didn't spend any time on it, you probably would have missed some easy questions, right? Or questions you thought were easy. So it takes time, takes dedication, and but it's all doable, right? I mean, you're a living example of that. So last question here, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. What are your plans now? You're a graduate of the program. You've got these certifications and all this knowledge. What's next?
Yeah, so over the summer, I had a remote internship, and that actually got extended until the end of the year, and so that'll be finishing up in the next couple of weeks. And so um, I'm going to be moving on from that company and looking for full time positions. I'm going to be applying for many areas. My goal is penetration testing, um, but I don't know if I'm 100% qualified for that yet. But I'm going to be applying anyway.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm going to be applying for penetration testing positions and just security analyst positions because I just like to get into the industry and get into the trenches
Right.
and see all of it. And so
Start
yeah,
building that experience. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so I'm open to anywhere, and everything being remote kind of opens up a lot of opportunity
Yeah.
to have a job anywhere, really. So I'm just looking at all the positions and evaluating everything and looking for openings anywhere.
Well, I'm excited to hear that you're doing that. We have a lot of great employers here in Michigan, but our students really are qualified to work for, the largest multinational corporations in the world, really. So, looking out and beyond at all your opportunities, I think is really going to pay off for you, I suspect, because, cybersecurity, it remains the number one in demand STEM field, and STEM is very broad. So it's it's a tough time right now with COVID, right? I mean, you had to finish up your last semester
Yep.
during this pandemic, right? So graduation's kind of a little bit of anticlimactic, right? But things are going to turn around, and I'm sure you'll do well. So Jacob, thanks so much for sharing today your experience as a student and in the capstone. I'm sure that others are going to find this useful. Uh, I'm confident of that. So thank you, and congratulations on graduation and on all your achievements.
All right. Thank you.